Shark Nation, what's good? How you doing? And welcome back, man. I am IceG3 3000 to be exact. And listen, I know it's been a little minute, so let's not waste too much time, man. This is season 2, episode 2. And if you remember last week, man, it was a big game, right? Opening the season 2, we were playing the Oklahoma Sooners, man. And if you caught up on that game, if you caught up on the situation, Trey Vincent went ahead and transferred down to Oklahoma, man. And this was a big matchup. This was a big statement win right here for the Sharks, man. Final score ended up being 42-17. And the Sharks put on the absolute showcase, man. I mean, offense was looking unstoppable, looking like the #1 offense in the nation, if you ask me. In the defense, the newly revamped defense, where we saw a lot of freshman debuts, man, looked really, really good. Okay, so the Sharks are looking quite scary after that first game, but it is still early. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves, man. But we did see some really good performances, man. As you can see, man, Nehemiah Hood was one of those who had 2 tackles, tackle for loss, and a sack. Tay Ray, man, the new freshman running back, the freshman phenom. Deuce, 15 rushing attempts, 129 total yards, 2 touchdowns. And like I said, man, this was a big game for the Sharks. Not only was it the home opener in season 2, man, debuting our brand new field. It was also just an all-around good performance for the Sharks. You love to see it, especially early in the season, man. We had a great first season and we had a lot of momentum, and we wanted to make sure that, hey, we would keep some of that. And it looks like we did. We saw some veteran faces. We saw some new faces, like I already said, man. And the team is looking really good. As you can see, man, this last play right here just kind of put the cherry on top of this game. Edwards taking it 96 yards all the way back to the house. And so to finally go ahead and wrap up last week, man, let's take a look at some of our stats. So we start with the offensive side of the ball, man. Joe Lovelady went 8 for 14, 302 yards and 3 tutties. Had himself one heck of a game. We see Tay Ray with 15, went 129 and 2 touchdowns. Rush had 4 attempts for 24 yards. On the receiving side, we see Big Jared Glover with 4 receptions, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. Higgins came down with 2 receptions, 62 yards. The freshman Jackson, brand new tight end, had a reception that resulted in a touchdown for 27 yards. And then to finish up, we saw Gray with 1 reception right there. So now if we look at the defensive side of the ball, we see Max Matrix leading the way with 4 tackles. We see Jenkins come down with 3 tackles. Carter had 3. States also had 3. Nehemiah Hood had 2 tackles. Also added a sack in there. Rodriguez Diaz, I know he had a couple batted balls in this game, 2 tackles. And then the list goes on and on, man. You can see everybody got involved on the defensive side, man, which is why we say, man, the defense is looking really, really good. We're excited. I know, man, last year, this was definitely a sore spot for the Sharks, man. We gave up a lot of points, and this is looking like we have done our job and definitely improved the side of the football, man. You can see we got 2 guys, Hood and Valentine, who each got a sack on the quarterback, and then Rodney Edwards, who, like we said, man, he's focusing more on defense, and it's looking like it's paying off. As you can see, man, he had that big-time 96-yard interception return. So good stuff right there by this Blue Sharks defense. So now let's go ahead and transition and catch up with Coach Hughes after the game. And with all the transfer drama, man, you know that's going to be a topic of discussion. So the reporter said, let's get right to it. This was the first time seeing Vincent since he announced that he would be transferring to OU. Is there any bad blood? And Coach just says, not at all, man. Vincent is a great player and an even better person off the field. We'd be wrong if we said it wasn't an extra motivation in the locker room, but that's just competitiveness talking. Glad we walked away with the win. So then they followed up with another question. This was a big time win against a top 25 team. Is this the type of play we should expect from this team this year? And Coach says, absolutely, man. We go into each and every game expecting to play at this level. This is what Blue Sharks football looks like when we play as a team and not as individuals. We have the talent here to compete with anyone. Power 5, power ball, Sharks in 4. So you can see, man, Coach got a couple jokes. But ultimately, man, that was a good first week win against Oklahoma. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule and prepare for our next opponent in Texas. This is going to be a big time game. We are going down to Texas to go and see the Longhorns and see what they're talking about. Coming off a really big first win, man, the Sharks are feeling good and feeling prepared. So let's go ahead and lock in and get ready for the game.
Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. Even though the sun is set, the temperature hasn't decreased for tonight's game between the away team and the Texas Longhorns. Well, folks, we're excited to bring you what appears to be another great gridiron matchup. And here come the Longhorns. The Longhorns are very confident coming into this one. They are definitely the favorites in my book, Kirk.
Texas has a big advantage on the offensive side of the football, and that's their quarterback. And the thing that I've noticed about him that makes him so special is his composure on the field. He's the reason they win this game big.
Oh, Kirk. There's a chance I might even agree with you on this one.
Hook 'em horns, sweetheart. Hook 'em horns.
Now that looks good on you, Lee. Anyway, let's send it down to the field.
Let's go. It is that time. We are on the field. Getting ready for the coin toss, man. The Seattle Blue Sharks against the Texas Longhorns. This should be a pretty good matchup, man. You can see they got a big-time quarterback in Quinn Ewers. And we're definitely going to have to play to the best of our ability if we want to walk away with a dub on the road against a really good team, man. So here we go, man. We are actually going to kick the ball off first and get this game underway. Fenton got the kick lined up, and he is getting ready to boot that thing away. And he does, and then it looks like Isaiah Bond is going to get ready to receive. He's going to take this kick up and finally get brought down and around the 20-22. So here we go as we take a look at some of our impact players for Texas, man. Like I said, Quinn Ewers looking to definitely go to the NFL next year, as well as Isaiah Bond, a transfer from Alabama. Two big-time playmakers. As we see on this first play, they're going to hand off up the middle to Daugherty. He's going to take it up for about 7. And that's how we're going to kick this game off, man. So 2nd and 3, ball on the 29. So here we go, man. This is going to be a real test for the Sharks defense, as Quinn Ewers is one of them ones, Heisman hopeful, as he drops back the pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to throw a pick to States, who might have the sideline. And he's still running up the sideline. He's going to take this for a pick 6 early in the game, 36-yard pick 6 by the freshman LB States, who was really in the right place, right time. He had the Isaiah Bond matchup, and he came out on top of that one right there, taking it all the way back to the house, putting the Sharks up early in this game. So what a big-time play right there by our cornerback States, as Fenton knocks this one through the uprights. And so it is now a 7-0 Sharks lead early in this game. Very unexpected turnover from one of the highly touted Ewers. So the Sharks are picking up right where we left off with another pick 6, as we see another kickoff go to Bond, and he is going to return this one past the 10, past the 15, and then gets killed by McGee. So the Sharks defense right now is trying to take command of this game very early, and so far so good, man. So the Texas offense takes the field again. It's 1st and 10, ball on the 21. Ewers is going to drop back the pass again. He's looking over the top. State's got a hand on it, and then it's picked off by Steve Strong, and he's trying to wiggle his way around and gets just past the 30, and that is another turnover from Ewers. Another interception from the Sharks defense, as Strong is flexing, telling this Texas crowd that y'all gotta do a little bit better, because we out here flexing. But he might have did a little bit too much, and we are gonna get a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. It seems like that's all they like to call on us these days. But anyway, man, another huge play from this Sharks defense, as we get a chance to take a look at some impact players for the Sharks, and Tay Ray and Rodney Edwards. So here we go, man. Ball is on the 44 after that penalty. It's 1st and 25. The crowd trying to get into it to help their team out, but right now they are struggling, as we see Tay Ray take his first carry for a good game right there. Gain of 10. And so it's now 2nd and 15. Ball on the 34. Just hit the 3-minute mark in the first quarter, man. And then we see Lovelady drop back the pass. He's under all types of pressure, but it was a screen to Go, and Go has some space. He jukes and gets to the 25, man. And right now, you would think that the Sharks were the big-time team coming in this matchup, but the underdogs are quickly proving that they might have been underestimated. Anyway, man, we see Lovelady drop back the pass again, and this time he is going to go way backwards, taking a huge loss on the play right there. So that's going to result in a 4th and 22. And after a good couple plays, man, we see that penalty come back to bite us, and we just weren't able to get enough to move the chains right there. So it's looking like we're going to go ahead and punt this ball away, and we do. So the Longhorns are going to start with the ball on the 20. Ewers looking for some redemption right now. As on the last 2 drives, he's thrown 2 interceptions. And so we see them line up in a heavy formation as they hand off to Baxter on the right-hand side, who is quickly brought down by Troop. So once again, the defense flying around, making plays all over the field. It's 2nd and 9, ball on the 21. We're going to see Hughes drop back to pass again, and they're looking for a screen to their big-time receiver, Bond, but States once again to make a big-time play and gets a tackle for loss. So it's now 3rd and 11. And the Longhorns just are looking out of sorts right now. Can't find any rhythm on offense, and the defense is absolutely flying around the field, making big-time plays. And so we see another screen off to the right-hand side to Hodges that goes for only a short gain of about 2 right there. So that is going to result in a punt. So we're going to get a chance to see Just Incredible back to return this punt. Looks like he might have a little bit of space. We'll see what he can do with it as he takes this punt and doesn't get very much as he was tackled quickly. But the Sharks will start with halfway decent field position as we start on the 37-man. 58 seconds left to go in this first quarter. As we see Tay Ray, the single back in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff up to the left. He's got a lead blocker and finally gets tackled down, but it's after he gets the first down. So the Sharks really want to make sure we get our freshman running back involved as he's been looking really good so far this season, man. So here we go. 1st and 10, ball on the 49. 40 seconds left in the first. We go with another handoff to Ray, but he is tracked down in the backfield by Rogers, who came crashing down that line. Didn't give up on the play. Good tackle right there. Results in a loss of 4 for the Sharks. So it's 2nd and 14 as we go play action, and Lovelady's rolling off to his right. He's looking over the top to Jackson. And Jackson, who had the size matchup right there, just couldn't come down with the catch. So now it's going to be 3rd and 14, ball on the 45. And this crowd is trying to get into it and make some noise to try to help their team and try to get some of this momentum back as we see Lovelady look over the middle to Higgins, who is wide open and makes a good catch and gets a little bit more after. And that is a big-time first down, putting the ball on the 31. The Sharks convert right there. And that's a big-time play by our guy Higgins, who some might have thought he would get overshadowed this season with a lot of new recruits coming in and Jarek Glover coming back for his senior year. But Higgins putting in work right now as we come to the end of the first quarter. The score is 7-0. We are looking really good against the number 7 ranked Texas Longhorns. And this Sharks offense is looking to go down the field and put some points on the board and try to extend this lead, man. So here we go. Tay Ray is going to take the handoff right up the middle and find a whole lot of space and then gets brought down by the safety. He's got 4 attempts for 31 yards, so it's looking really good right now in this ball game. And so the ball is now on the 18. We're going to see a reverse right here go to Billy Go, who's got some speed and he's got a little bit of space. Will he be able to outrun the linebacker? And he does get around that corner for a nice little gain of 6 right there. So the Sharks trying to catch the Longhorns off guard with a little bit of reverse right there. Worked out in the Sharks' favor. So now it's 2nd and 4, ball on the 12. As we see Rush get the handoff to the left-hand side, and it looks like he's going to walk right into the end zone untouched after a nice couple moves. And I believe that right there is his first touchdown for this Seattle Sharks offense, man. There's another freshman running back that we're really excited about. Like I said, man, we got a whole lot of talent that came in this year, and we're seeing it go to work right now as another one of our freshmen puts points on the board. And so it is now 14-0. The Sharks are looking rather dominant in this game against a top 10 team in the nation, trying to let the country know to put some respect on the Blue Sharks name, man, because we come here to play. So here we go, man. After a good first couple drives, man, the defense really standing up. It is now 14-zip. Texas going down the field again on offense as Ewers was looking for his tight end over the middle but couldn't find him. And so it's now 2nd and 10. Ball on the 24. Ewers is going to take the snap again, and he's looking for his running back on the left-hand side who runs out of space and runs out of bounds after yet another short gain. So Ewers really not having the best start right here in this first half, man, but the Sharks defense have a lot to do with that. As it's now 3rd and 9, and we see Ewers drop back to pass again, and he's running out of time. And that is Max Matrix flying off the left-hand side of the line, coming in for the quarterback sack, man. Ewers was just in trouble from the jump as Hood was right there as well, but Matrix came away with that sack, and the Longhorns are going to punt the ball off again, and they are in shambles right now. They cannot do anything on offense, and the Sharks couldn't be happier. We will take it. We ain't complaining. So anyway, man, we're going to start with the ball on the 37, trying to go up 21 if we can. As we see Tay Ray get a handoff to the right-hand side, and he's got tons of space and showcasing some of that speed and then a little bit of power at the end of that run. So this is a good sign right here from the Sharks offense to get that run game going, as we know how dangerous Lovelady and Glover and others can be when we start throwing the ball. So look, man, the Sharks are looking really good in this first half. Surprising a lot of people, as a lot of us had us not really being able to compete in this game. But like always, man, the Sharks come to play. We play Sharks football. So we're going to see a play action. And Lovelady fumbles the ball. It is a strip sack, and Jenkins recovers. Just as we were saying, we play Sharks football. Maybe that's kind of a little bit of foreshadowing, but that right there was a big-time play from Richardson, who read that play action all the way, came away with the strip sack, and gets the ball back for his team. And Texas will start with really good field position. Starting on the 50, big-time turnover, man, and let's be honest, they needed it. So we're going to see a handoff go to Baxter on the left-hand side, and they're going to fumble the football, but it is recovered by Texas. So a big-time play, another big-time play right there from the Sharks defense, trying to get the ball right back after that turnover. So here we see Hughes drop back the pass, and he starts to scramble up the middle. He's got a little bit of space, and he breaks a tackle, and then is finally brought down by DJ Outlaw. So a nice little scramble right there by Hughes, just trying to find anything to get his team going right there. So it's now 3rd and 6. Ball on the 46. They're going to go with a draw up the middle to Baxter, who is not going to make the line of the game. Tackled there by Carter. And so it's now 4th and 3, and the Longhorns are going to elect a punt. And this one looks like it's going to be inside the 10, so Credible's not going to touch it as it's bobbling around, and Carter, for some reason, dives on the football and nearly cost the Sharks possession once again, but they were able to recover. So we start with terrible field position on the 3. And we're going to line up an I formation just to maybe see if we can try to move the ball a little bit off of that end zone line, man. So the Sharks go with a handoff to Tay Ray, who doesn't get much, but he does get a yard. So we're a little bit further away from the end zone, man. It's always an uncomfortable place being this close to your own touchdown. So we see Garrett get the fullback handoff and fumbles it. But thankfully, we were able to recover that, but it did move us all the way back to the 1-yard line. So we are now in deep water right here. It's 3rd and 12, ball on the 1. One thing we don't want to do is give up a safety. That will give the Longhorns all the momentum they need, man. So here we go with a handoff up to Tay Ray, who's not going to get much, but he is going to avoid the safety. And so we are going to punt this thing away. Ball on the 1-yard line. And you got to imagine with the way this game is going, the Longhorns might try to send the house to try and get a free play right here. And so Barnes is going to punt the thing away, and he absolutely shanks this punt and gets the ball on the 17, giving the Longhorns absolutely phenomenal field position once again. And so here we go. We can see if the defense can make a stand right here as we see Ewers go to Daughtry on the right-hand side, who shakes a tackle, but then is brought down by Carter. So they get all the way down to the 11. It's 2nd and 4. Under a minute left to go in this second quarter. Longhorns still scoreless as we see Ewers drop back the pass, and then it's tipped up in the air and intercepted by Troop in the end zone. And that is the 3rd interception from the big-time quarterback, man. This Sharks defense is playing out of their minds. And yet again, man, that was another big-time play from the defense. Just getting a hand on the ball, and then one of our linebackers coming in and swooping that thing away. And so that right there was big time as the Longhorns were knocking on the door, man. Surprised they didn't come away with points there. But anyway, we're going to see a run from Tay Ray, who has a whole lot of space, and he finally runs out of bounds at the 33, man. We got just under 50 seconds left to go before halftime. Sharks trying to go down the field and see if we can't put some more points on this board. As we see, the Sharks are going to go in shotgun. Lovelady trying to call an audible at the line, but this crowd is making a whole lot of noise, making it difficult as we see Lovelady drop back. And he's looking over the top to Glover, who had a step on the cornerback. The ball was just a little bit too far out of bounds, and they were not able to complete that pass. And we haven't seen a whole lot from Jared Glover, our Heisman candidate, man. But anyway, we might not need to as we're up 14-zip, and we see Lovelady finally find Glover on a deep route right there, getting the ball all the way down to the 38. So big-time play right there. There's still 36 seconds left to go in the second quarter, so the Sharks very well may be able to score again before halftime, which would be huge. So just as we were saying, we hadn't seen much of Glover. He shows up and makes a big-time play. So here we go, man. The clock's still ticking down, about 24 seconds left. We see Lovelady drop back the pass. They're going with a screen to Billy Goat, who breaks one tackle, and he had some space, but gets tracked down and only gets a gain of 1 right there. So that play showed a whole lot of potential as we see the freshman Billy Goat, who moved positions to wide receiver, and it looks like it's paying off as he has a couple good catches in this game so far. But anyway, we're going to see if we can't put some points on the board as Lovelady drops back the pass. He's looking deep to Hummel, looking in the back of the end zone, but just not quite able to make that connection. That's a new receiver that we got right there. timing a little bit off. So now we're looking at 3rd and 9, 12 seconds left to go before halftime. We're going to see Lovelady line up in shotgun again with Tay-Ray off to his right-hand side. This crowd is on their feet making some noise as we see a high snap from Lovelady, and Lovelady's going to go with a quick slant to Glover, who picks it up and gets all the way down to the 21. So that's a great quick throw right there to move the chains as the Sharks line up, and it looks like they're just going to try to spike this ball and give enough time for Fenton to possibly go for a field goal, but it looks like the offense is still on the field, and Coach Hughes is going to play this one rather aggressively and try to go for a touchdown rather than a field goal. And it looks like he quickly thought twice about that decision as Lovelady calls a timeout. And we are going to line up for a 38-yard field goal attempt. 4 seconds left to go before halftime, and Fenton lines this kick up. And it is up, and it drifts to the left, and it is no good. So what looked like it was a chip shot ended up being missed. It drifted to the left. It was lined up right in the middle in the beginning, but it didn't go in. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the halftime report brought to you by WX Sports Gear. And so let's take a look at what happened in that first half, man. So listen, man, the Sharks are up 14-0 in this first half, man. And listen, so far, this has been one heck of a defensive game. We've seen States come up time and time again with big time play. He had a huge pick 6 on one of the first drives of this game. Then in the second drive, he comes up with the deflection that ultimately ends up in the interception again. So States, man, is having one heck of a game. But really, the whole Sharks defense in general is putting a shutout on the number 7 ranked Texas Longhorns, which is a shocker. Many reporters and scouts and all these analysts, they had us out of this game, but we are showing that we are a force to be reckoned with, man. So the defense definitely doing their thing. On the offensive side of the ball, we may need to adjust a couple things as we had a little bit of struggles getting down the field. We did see a touchdown scored by Rush, one of his first touchdowns of this season. But other than that, man, we really haven't been able to do much. And we did see a missed field goal at the end of the half. So we got to tighten a couple things up. But anyway, man, if we go and take a look at the WX Sports Gear player of the half, this should come as no surprise. It's going to be our guy, our freshman, LB States, rocking number 3, man. And 3 is kind of consistent as he's got 1 tackle, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, the perfect trifecta, man. And he has shown that he is not to be trifled with on the left side of that field. Just don't throw it over there. I don't know why they keep testing him, because he's going to keep making big time plays. Listen, man, he is making a stamp on this game. And ultimately, man, a big time reason on why Texas is having such a tough time doing anything in this game, if we're being honest. So big shout out to States, man. We definitely want to see him continue this effort in the second half. But now let's go ahead and take a look at some halftime adjustments with our Coach Hughes, man. Number 1, keep pressure on Ewers. He hasn't had the best half in the world in this first half, but we definitely know what he's capable of, so we got to keep the heat on. Number 2, stay disciplined. We're up in this game, but like I said, man, this is the number 7 team in the nation for a reason. We got to make sure we cross our X's and dot our I's, or however you say that. We got to make sure we stay on point. So then the last one, win the half, win the game. Simple enough. So that right there is going to wrap up the halftime report brought to you by WX Sports Gear, the official partner of the Sharks, man. World-class athletes deserve world-class sports gear. So let's go ahead and get back into the second half where we see GOAT take this kickoff out of the end zone into the 20, and he's still running. He found a crease up the side, right-hand side right there, and he's finally brought down at the 28. And so that's where the Sharks will start their first possession in the second half, up 14-0, looking really good in this game, hoping to have a good second half and finish this one out. So it's going to be 1st and 10, ball on 28, as we see Tay-Ray in the backfield, and they go play action. Lovelady dropping to his left, and he quickly runs out of time and is sacked on that play for a huge loss right there. So the Longhorns trying to get some momentum back in this second half, as it is 14-0. The Sharks have kind of dominated this game up to this point. The Longhorns trying to get back into it. So it's now 2nd and 18, ball in the 20, and this crowd is going absolutely crazy, trying to give their team some help. And we see a handoff to Tay-Ray at the middle, who's got a whole lot of space and room to run, and gets a really nice gain. And he's 9 for 80 right now, having a really good game so far. Getting the Sharks closer to that first down marker. Is 3rd and 3. Just about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Ball on the 35 as we see GOAT motion to the right and comes back to the left. We see Rush in the backfield. In I formation, he's going to take his handoff and bounce out to the left-hand side, get the corner, and he picks up the first down and then some. Nice run right there by Rush, who already has a touchdown in this game. And so he's hoping to do a little bit more to help the Sharks trying to secure a victory here on the road against the number 7 Texas Longhorns. And right now they're doing a good job of staying ahead in this game. Keep moving the ball, but then Rush fumbles the football and is recovered by Murphy. So this right here was a huge play and could possibly turn the tide for the Longhorns as they've struggled most of this game. And that was just Rush right there, probably trying to do a little bit too much and turn the football over. So the Longhorns are going to start with the ball on the 41. As we see Hughes drop back to pass, he's going to scramble off to his right, pick up the first down, breaks a tackle, and then is finally brought down inside the 30. So Texas looking to try to make some noise in this game. So they're going to get a new set of downs with the ball on the 28. Just about 2 minutes left in this third quarter. As we see backs in the backfield again, and Hughes goes play action, but quickly runs out of time as Outlaw came screaming off the edge right there and came away with the sack on the quarterback. So it's now 2nd and 14 after that big play by our linebacker. Ball is now on the 32. And we see Hughes drop back to pass once again. He's surveying the field, but gets sacked again by Masked Matrix, who tallies his 2nd sack on the game. Big number 99 just absolutely bullied his way through the Longhorns lineman right there and comes away with the sack, man. So it's now 3rd and 15 after that huge Texas fumble or forced fumble. They're struggling to move the ball. And so we see Hughes drop back to pass again on 3rd down, and he's going deep down the field and connects with Hodges, who just jumped right over Rodriguez Diaz and comes away with a huge play for the Longhorns, putting them on the board and trying to narrow this deficit down by 7. What a throw right there by Hughes. An absolute dot, and Edwards tried to get over and make a play, but was just a little bit too late. And so with this extra point attempt, they are going to make this lead to 7, and it is now 14-7. Sharks still up, but Texas got a lot of momentum right now to start this second half as we see the kickoff go to Billy Goat, who will actually take this one out of the end zone and barely get past the 10-yard line. And so Texas is starting to pick up the intensity in this game. Sharks making a couple mistakes mentally. Got to secure the football. So we start on the 13 with 1 minute and 7 left to go in the third. And it's going to be a handoff to Ray, who's got a whole lot of space up the middle. And it's finally brought down after a nice gain of about 12 right there. So the one thing to notice is this Sharks offensive line is definitely clearing the way right now. We're winning the battle up front, and Tay Ray has had a lot of room to run as we see him get another carry, taking it right up the middle for a nice gain of 4. So the Sharks may want to try to stick to this game plan, running the football. It's been working out for us so far. Offense just needs to find ways to finish these drives and get points on the board. As we're looking at 2nd and 6, ball on the 28, and we go with another handoff right up to middle to Rush, who gets a decent little gain right there of about 4. So it's now 3rd, and it looks like 1. Sharks are 3 for 5 on 3rd down conversions so far. And they're not going to get another playoff before the end of this third quarter. And so we are going into the fourth quarter with a 1-touchdown lead. It's 14-7. The Sharks are up 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter against the number 7 ranked Texas Longhorns. This is a big 3rd down conversion right here. And we go triple option and give it to the fullback Garrett, but he is stopped short of the first down marker. And this is going to be a big call right here from Coach Hughes. But you already know Coach Hughes likes to take the game. He likes to take his destiny in his own hands. We're going to go for it here. 4th and inches, ball on the 34. This is a big play right here. And we see Lovelady go with the quarterback sneak, who gets past the marker and is finally brought down. But that was good enough to move the chain. So gutsy call right there by our coach. But he trusted the players. He trusted our guys, and we were able to convert. So now on 1st down, we see Lovelady drop back to throw again. And this is a very dangerous throw. And he kind of forced it to Jackson up the field right there and threw in the triple coverage. And that was almost costly. That's one of the things we wanted to see improve from Lovelady, man, his decision-making and trying to limit some of the turnovers. And that right there was not a good indicator that he got any better. But anyway, thankfully, no harm came out of that play. And we see Ray get another handoff for a short gain of about 2 right here. So it's 3rd and 9. The Sharks looking to convert. Ball on the 37. We're going to see Lovelady drop back to pass as he surveys the field. He's got a little bit of time. He's looking for Higgins over the middle, and Higgins comes down with yet another big-time catch on 3rd down over the middle. Those middle routes are just something that he's really good at, and he comes away with another big-time catch for the Sharks, moving the chains, getting the 1st down, and getting pretty good field position while he was at it, man. So you love to see it. Higgins getting more and more involved in this game. And so now the ball is on the other side of the 50 on the 35. It's 1st and 10. And we're going to see a handoff up the middle to Tay Ray, who gets about 5 right there. And at this point in the game, with just over 2 minutes left in the fourth, you got to imagine that the Sharks are just going to try to grind this one out and try to run out the clock and not give Texas a chance. So we're going to see Rush to the backfield, who gets the handoff to the left-hand side. He's going to look for the edge. He finds it, gets the first down, stays in bounds, and moves the chains, man. So nice running right there by Rush, trying to make up for that fumble that he had earlier. And so we see Texas take their first timeout late in this game. 1 minute and 56 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Score is 14-7. The Sharks up and looking to score again. And here we go, man. We see a pitch to the right-hand side to Rush, who's got lead blockers. He's got a little bit of space, but he's quickly tracked down by the safety after a short gain of 2. But it does keep that clock moving and forces Texas to burn their second timeout. And so this is exactly what we're talking about. The Sharks really looking to just work the clock right now, force Texas into some tough decisions, man. Have to burn those timeouts, as we see Tay Ray go and get another carry, but he actually loses 2. But Texas elects not to take their last timeout, so the clock is running. It's 3rd and 10, ball on the 20. So we see another handoff to Tay Ray right up the middle. He runs one guy over, but then gets tripped up after a gain of 5. So that's going to leave it at 4th and 5. With the ball on the 15, and that clock is still running, and we finally see Texas burn their last timeout of the game with 59 seconds left on the clock. And so here we go, man. We see the Sharks line up to take a 32-yard field goal. And we know Fenton missed that one right before halftime, looking for some redemption as he goes to kick. The kick is up, and the kick is good, extending the Sharks' lead to 10. It is now 17-7, and Fenton finally showing some signs of life, making a big-time field goal right there, putting the Sharks up 10. So here we go. Finn is going to line up the kickoff, and the kick is off. Isaiah Bond looking to return this one as he does, and he starts out. He gets past the 20. He's still running. Found a crease up the middle, but then it's finally brought down. But there is a flag on the play, and they're going to call clipping. And so that right there is going to set the Longhorns back. Late in this fourth quarter, they are down 10 points and definitely could not afford that penalty. So they're going to start with the ball on the 11. We see Hughes in shotgun as he drops back, looking for his receiver on the left-hand side. That's Bond over the top. But Edwards was right there, step for step. Made a big-time play on the football. Knocked that one out of bounds. And so it's now 2nd and 10. 47 seconds left on the clock. Ball is on the 11. And we see Ewers take the snap again. Looking for a quick screen onto the left to Bond, which was almost intercepted by States right there. And you got to imagine, if States gets 2 hands on that football, that's going right back to the crib. And so Texas is struggling right now. It's 3rd and 10. They haven't been able to move the ball as Ewers is looking over the top to his receiver, West, who comes down with the catch, and he's still running. Made an amazing catch, and then an even better effort afterwards. Nice throw and catch right there from Ewers to his receiver, but you gotta think, with only about 30 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter, it might just be a little too late from the star quarterback. And we see the go hurry up, and Ewers goes with an option, and he fumbles the pitch. And so Texas looking a little bit discombobulated right now as there's only 20 seconds left, and they're running the football. As we see them go with another option as Ewers takes it up the field, gets past the first down marker, but then it's brought down. And so at this point, you can kind of see Texas waving the white flag. And maybe they just don't want to make any more mistakes late in this game. We see them go with another option to the right-hand side to Baxter, who's going to be brought down at the 21. And that is going to do it for this game. The Sharks have pulled off yet another upset in this upcoming program, man. They're starting to be known for that big-time game right here in Texas. The Sharks defeat the number 7 Texas Longhorns on the road. Big-time game from our defense, man. Definitely stepped up and really shut out one of the best players in the nation in Quinn Ewers. Got to give it up for the Sharks defense, man. It was a good team win as a whole. And now, man, it is time to get into our WX Sports Gear Player of the Game. And in a low-scoring game like this, you got to imagine the defense did something good. And that was the case here, as we see LB Stacy is going to walk away with the Player of the Game, man. Kind of carrying a lot of that momentum he had from the first half. Listen, he had a phenomenal game and shut down really one of Texas's best weapons, which is probably as a result of the score that we saw, man. Time and time again, they try to go to Isaiah Bond, but States really just put him on the island, did not let him go anywhere, and had a phenomenal game, man. Came away with 1 interception in that first half, took that one all the way back for a touchdown, a total of 2 tackles, and he definitely had the tough assignment of guarding Isaiah Bond for the whole entirety of the game. And for that, man, he's going to walk away with a WX Sports Gear performance grade of an A. And listen, although we're spotlighting LB States on this one, man, it was really a great team effort on the defensive side of the football for the Sharks. And States was definitely the leader of that charge, man. So good stuff right here by our freshman at that. And so now if we take a look at the game stats, we see the final score was 17-7, man. And we look at first downs, Sharks absolutely dominated there. 13 to Texas 4, man. Total offense plus 100 yards, 228 to 128. The rushing game was absolutely phenomenal, man. Ray and Rush, 28 attempts for 121 yards, where Texas's rushing game was non-existent. Our passing game was solid, 6 for 10, passing yards 107. Third down conversions could have been a lot better, but hey, we'll take it. Had a couple turnovers as well. Ultimately, man, a really solid game for the Sharks. A great team win and upset, man, as well. Nobody expected us to win this game, man. You know, against another top 10 team in the nation, the Sharks show improve. Even got a little spotlight in the magazine this week. So good stuff right there by our Sharks, man. And if we take a look at the top 25 polls after this game, we are now in the top 25. Go ahead and clap that up, man. This is a milestone for the Sharks program, man. Finally getting some recognition, man. It took a lot of work. You know, it didn't start off great, but listen, we are on a roll. The Sharks definitely have some momentum and are really trying to make a statement to the nation that we are a solid program, man. This is a program that's only in our second year, and so we have definitely got a whole lot of upside, man. So now, if we take a look at the Heisman watch, we see Jared Glover still sitting at the top, but there's one thing we want to note. He didn't have that great of a game against Texas. 2 receptions for 45 yards. So you got to imagine there may be some names moving up and down that chart as we go forward throughout the season, man, because performances like that just ain't gonna cut it. But anyway, man, if we take a look at the players of the week, we see LB States was recognized in the Pac-10 for player of the week, man. Like I said, he had a phenomenal game. So shout out to the freshman right there, man. This is exactly what we wanted to see from some of the new guys coming in, making an impact right away, and you love to see it, man. And so if we take a look at our conference standings, we are sitting at number 4, 2-0 on the season, coming off 2 really big wins, man, against Oklahoma and then on the road against Texas. And so next week, we're going to see Washington State University, who, if you remember, was talking a little bit of trash online. So this is definitely going to be a big game, and we'll have to settle that on the field. But if we take a look ahead at next episode, man, we got a team storyline update, a season challenge game against Washington State, new uniforms, and a player suspension. So you want to make sure you keep it locked, man. And look, like I always say, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel today. And remember, a little bit every day goes a long way. So once you take that first step, don't look back. I'm IC3, 3000 to be exact. I hope I see you guys in the next one. And if I don't, well, then go ahead and run this one back.